wobbly. It's quite a cumbersome bike, isn't it? The shot's relatively stable. Is there anything I can do to help you out a little bit more? Yeah, I think because the back end's got more weight on it, hasn't it? So it's sort of like pushes it out. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that was great. Don't seem to send program for some reason. Like we had it with Tom and that 3. I mean, these 600s, they seem to just work. Perfect, that was nice. 3 minutes. I might as well stay on the back.
Today, though, we do have the classic Welsh weather with us here this afternoon.
The athletes starting to gather in and around our start area under the direction of Alex Donald and the rest of our event marshals and support staff there on the start time. Of course, operating timing system here, many people gathering, making sure they're doing their last minute preparations.
He came in and switched the comms camera for some reason, and he's obviously not changed all the settings back.
Until we get to those elite races, you really do start to welcome athletes from all over the UK, not just Wales and the southwest. But previewing this one, we're looking out for Neil Williams. 17:32, he's the fastest seed in this one. He wears bib number 521. And second fastest in the field, Billy Williams, 17:33. So it's the two Williams men who are ones to watch. He wears 522. So we'll look and see if they are on the start line. I can see Steve Linton is up there and placed well as well. So these athletes are going to have 3 laps of Butte Park. There or thereabouts, pretty much a mile a lap, and this is race 1. And if you're joining us, welcome. Live results on the Sports Shoes website, and of course, download the Sports Shoes app for exclusive deals and updates around events, upcoming fixtures and races as well. Here we go, race 1 of 5 today at the Home Nations 5K here in Cardiff, and we're off and away then. Early leader looks to be 4:43, looking very, very comfortable in the yellow, just glancing down at his watch as well. That's Andy Bucknell, 18-minute run, 18:05, his lifetime best. 17:30 is easy maths for us, it's 3:30 Ks. It's just a touch over 540 miles as well. And Buckner, you can just see, glancing at his watch early on, wants to make sure he's on that steady rhythm. This course is pretty much pan flat for reference to you at home, but if there is going to be any dispute over a slight incline, it is in the opening sort of 400 or 500 meters here in Butte Park, and they'll follow it round and then they'll turn, loop their left and head to our right of picture and head down what I'll refer to as the back straight for ease of purpose throughout this afternoon into the evening. And that is a slight downhill on the far side here at Butte Park, and so the athletes will enjoy just opening up their stride through that section of the course before making 2 left-hand turns to come back through that start-finish area. So Bucknell leads, still looking very, very comfortable as well. Quick glance back for him. Billy Williams is the man behind him, 5:22. I mentioned him in the preview, 17:33, his lifetime best, and comes into this in good form. Busy summer of racing for him. Williams, and he's a man who will be known in these parts. Done a few Cardiff Park runs in his time as well. This is part of the Cardiff Park run course. It's one of the fastest in the UK. It really is. So this is the first half turn of the opening lap, and you can see they're going to have to weave themselves round a few puddles. Hopefully they dry up throughout the afternoon into the evening ahead of those elite races. But Andy Bucknell looking very smooth so far, and you can always tell just relaxed in the upper body is a key sign, and keeps glancing at his watch. I must say, I wouldn't pay too much attention to the watch, Bucknell. Not that he can hear me, but here in Butte Park there is a lot of tree cover. Does always throw up some inaccurate splits. Focus on the K markers. There are K markers out on the course, and just lap the watch manually, probably give you a much better indication. So Billy Williams giving chase in, and then you have Les Krupp's athlete in behind, Carl Nealon. You've got a few Cardiff athletes as well, Reece Allerton. A few other men to watch out for. Came into this with some good seed. Alex John from Swansea Harriers. He's 17:38 man. I believe that might be him. Just to the right of picture in that chase pack. But these two now are just starting to separate themselves away from the rest of the field. And this is the back stretch. So this is the slight downhill on lap 1 that they're going to have to use to their advantage, and this is where you'll see a few moves made, especially late on in the race. And keep an eye on the clock. The 1 kilometre marker is, I think they've just pretty much passed it there, that white sign to the right of picture. And that is your 1 kilometre. as they come down past these benches. So we are well inside 3:30 at this stage. So all of these men are operating in low 17-minute territory. Williams looking just as good as Bucknell, by the way, just in second, and that is a gap that can be easily closed over the course of the remaining 4 kilometers, just under that. So Bucknell out front, Williams, these two are away and clear, and the reason for that is they are well inside 17:30 tempo. This race was seeded at just that. 17:30 was the goal for a lot of these men. Alex John, of course, there are women in here as well. Lead female, we'll look out for her. Amber Bullingham on paper from Western Tempo, under the guidance of Dave Newport, who founded that club. What a phenomenal job he has done as they appear more and more on the national scene. Western Tempo, bright orange vest, you can't miss him either. So Bucknell and Williams. Williams now finding his way into the lead, just easy past Bucknell, who seems
I'm back here now.
content to just keep glancing at the watch. He'll stick at his rhythm. Perhaps that's why he's let Williams just pull away through at the moment. Is this an injection of pace, or is this Bucknell already fading early on in this 5-kilometer race? We're approaching lap 1. Well, he's representing the Port Crawl runners, is Billy Williams.
I'm ready, yeah.
And he was the second fastest on paper. And he's coming out here and he means business. He's looking very, very smooth early on. He too just glancing at his watch as he goes through the lap. That will be pretty much the mile marker, I would have thought.
Yeah, good.
It is just under 3 laps here in Butte Park. There's a few hours to look out for. You can see Tom Rees, Cardiff runners, all eyes on Billy Williams, and now he's on his own. He's destroyed Bucknell in the span of about 400 or 500 meters. Easy done for him. And now Bucknell's going to be under threat. I believe that is Alex John, just a little further back. Confirmation it is, as we'll look to see a few more athletes come through. As we ID them as well, there should be plenty of PBs. I mean, this course is one of the fastest. They do host quite a lot of 5Ks here in Cardiff. Specifically, the Safa 5K always throws up some great results in the peak of the summer season. However, the depth here at the Sports Shoes Home Nations is just incredible. You get to those elite races, and we've got 40 athletes, sub 14 minutes in the men's, and almost just as many sub 16, 15, that sort of mark in the women's. Staggering stuff. So as another Swansea Harrier goes through picture. Talk about that lead female. I mentioned Amber Bullingham. Michelle Dutton is right behind her as well. Katie Strange, also another athlete to look out for. Chloe Hartley Green saw her in that Swansea colours. Couple Swansea vests featuring pretty high up here in race 1. But how about this then for Billy Williams? Well, he would have gone to bed last night, mapped out the race plan, discussed perhaps with his coach, or just in his own head how he would have liked this race to go. And so far, going to the script, a steady start, work your way through the field, hit the front as you approach the halfway mark, and then can you keep a steady effort from here on out? He might welcome a little bit of company. However, in that last mile, you can see Alex John starting to just move up onto the shoulder of Bucknell. And if those two can work together, Williams will be under pressure going into that final lap. So this top section of the course, they'll run parallel now along the River Taff. To their right, our left on the screen. And they'll have a nice gradual down here. This is where they can really rip this straight. It's straight for the best part of a whole kilometre. From that top corner you can see all the way down to the bottom. Well, they'll turn left. And it does weave on the, what we'll refer to as the home straight here at Butte Park. It does weave a little bit. It can break your rhythm. And it is all about the tangent you can take on that home straight, whereas this, fairly straightforward. Here is where it drops away. Alex John now moving up onto Bucknell. Those two side by side. Williams weaving his way through the puddles as we hit halfway in race 1 in Cardiff.
on offer down in our event village.
And welcome
So we are around
to Sports Shoes Home Nations.
to race number 1 about
It has returned for another year. This is in its 4th year now.
Home Nations.
And we look ahead to those 2 elite races coming up. 6:30 the elite women, elite men off at 7 o'clock. And we have 3 open races. This the first of those 3 open races, which will get quicker and quicker throughout the evening. But it is Billy Williams, the Welshman from Paul Crawl, who leads. Bucknell was our early leader through the opening 800 metres or so. Williams then came up onto his shoulder after a kilometre and then proceeded to just go past and gap the pair. Alex John, and we'll call that joint second on the shoulder of Bucknell, looks the stronger of the 2. He now looks like he's made contact with Williams. Always deceiving when you look at the race from this angle, isn't it? Just how big is that gap? I'd have it down as 10 metres or so. There's a couple seconds once Williams passes that bench to when John does, but in road racing, that is very much contact, and it's one of the advantages of the road compared to the track. Is on a track, 2 or 3 seconds can seem like a long, long way, and you can feel that disconnect between the athlete ahead of you. However, on the road, just a couple seconds back, and you always feel like you're still in it. All it takes is one bad turn, a bad line, or even just a lack of concentration, and you can cover and make up that couple seconds, and John has done just that, so he goes straight past. Deja vu from lap 1 between Bucknell and Williams, and this time around it's Williams who relinquishes the lead at the same point as he took it a lap earlier, and it's Alex John of the Swansea Harriers. 17:38 his lifetime best. Let's have a look at the time once they go through that start-finish line gantry, because we are just over a mile a lap. And we know that anything inside 17:30 is going to be a massive lifetime best for all of these men. So two of the top 3 seeds on paper are 1-2 at this stage in the race. And the surprise really is Andy Bucknell, never broken 18 minutes before, and he is on course for that if he can hold it together. So Swansea, Port Crawl and the Belper Harrier. And you can see what I mean about these weaving turns on the home straight here in Butte Park. And it does play a factor, especially when you're kicking for home, those tangents, how well you can corner. So, under the finish line gantry there, and we're 11:22 or so on the clock. He's on for a massive PB if he can get anywhere near 6 minutes for this final lap. It is just over a mile. This is where they started. But he's doing a good job. Williams in second is holding his own as well. Bucknell, suffering, continues to glance at his watch. Perhaps needs to stay engaged in the race. At this point, he's got a race ahead of him. Second place is up for grabs. If he can go past Williams and potentially even hang on to Alex John in front of him. A few more coming through that start line gantry, then it really is stringing out. And look at this. This is what the 5K can do to you. Look at these Western Tempo vests as well. They've come here in numbers to the Welsh capital. Looked after by Dave Newport. Founded that club just a few years ago, and already is turning into one of the strongest clubs, certainly in the Midlands, but perhaps nationally. We'll see. It's road relay season very, very shortly. And it's a great way to kickstart the winter campaign here at Butte Park. And many of these athletes would have had this in the diary for a good while. There's not many 5Ks that are competitive like a Sports Shoes 5K. So Alex John still leads. The man from Swansea, we're going to see a lot more of that vest throughout the racing here in Butte Park. He's into lap 3. They'll know the course, they'll know the turns, they'll know exactly where they should be squeezing, and perhaps even coming off the gas a little bit, just measuring their effort. I mentioned on lap 1, if there is any dispute over an uphill, it probably is on that home straight, past the finish line gantry and up to this top corner. However, it's very, very subtle and you get it back a lot more on this backstretch as they run along the tap here. Anyone based in and around Cardiff will know Butte Park exceptionally well. It is the home of everyone's tempo days, long runs, and just like New York has Hyde Park, has Central Park, and London has Hyde Park, apologies, Cardiff has Butte Park, and it's a special place for the runners in and around it. And it's going to be a special place for Alex John if he can hold on here. Still leads. And that gap is growing. It is Bucknell who's slotted himself into second, and Williams perhaps a little aggressive earlier on because it looks like the pack may have swallowed him up. But John has a good gap now on Bucknell. And this is exactly where you want to be going into that final kilometre of the race. They're going to be fast approaching it. That 4K mark, pretty much when we pass the hut. That'll be a kilometre to go roughly, which is going to be about 3.5 minutes of running. And so we're going to be close to 17:30, that's for sure.
Race number 1. We've got a great lineup throughout the course of this evening, but we've got some fantastic athletes of race number 4 and race number 5 now.
15 minutes on the clock, then we're into the final 2.5 minutes here. Alex John, Swansea Harriers. Andy Bucknell in second, did the hard running early on, and he has company for third there, and it isn't Billy Williams, one of the fastest seeds on paper. He's dropped further back. He's getting swallowed up by the pack, who have been a little bit more patient. They've worked with one another. And it can come as a surprise to some, but you can never count out the gaps you can close in the latter stages of a 5K. This sort of rhythm, all it takes is someone to slow up 10 seconds over that final kilometre on the roads. That is easy done, I can tell you that, especially with a few turns to contend with. And the other just to put the foot down and squeeze and dip under their average. So Alex John under the tree cover here in Butte Park. The rain has stopped, the conditions all but still now. Actually, it was very blustery, very wet, prime Cardiff weather. However, things have turned around for the better here, and Alex John has enjoyed himself. He's led for the best part of just over a lap now. This is where he took the lead. He bided his time. He sat a little bit further back, moved his way up, let Bucknell and Williams attack each other over the first couple miles, and then started to stamp his authority on this race. Quick glance at the watch, and that's more of a safety thing I would expect at this stage, just checking how far has he got left, even though it is lap 3, and he would have done this twice before.
Yeah, he said I need to be quite far, but yeah, he kind of can't win.
So Alex John dominates race 1 here in Cardiff. We're going to welcome the UK Championships over 5 kilometres later on this evening. The elite women and elite men to come, but this is race 1 of 5 here today. And he kickstarts the Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K. He's going to take 2 more turns into the finish. That finish line is sprung upon you real fast as he eases round this bend. Barely lifts his speed. He knows he's got it in the bag. Alex John of Swansea Harriers, 17:19. And that'll be a big PB for him. He'll take exactly 19 seconds off of his old lifetime best. And we'll find a nice quiet spot to just catch his breath. But that was a superb race from John. You can see Bucknell came across the line. Williams just coming across now, 17:40 maybe. You see in that green t-shirt, not a bad result for him, 17:33 lifetime best. Evan Davies looking at him, Aberdare, just outside his lifetime best of 17:40 as well. How many men can we get sub 18? Women out there, we'll look out for that lead woman. As you can see, they just throw themselves around that final bend, and it's something which is unique to the race here in Butte Park at this Home Nations meeting. And it can catch a lot of athletes off guard. They have to decide really where they've got to squeeze, where they've got to start that finishing kick. Because if you wait till you get around that bend, it is far too late, I can assure you that. Because you've got the best part of 10 meters before you are in and under that gantry. So lead woman just coming across the line there is at a Western Tempo vest. Amber Bullingham mentioned her 19-minute performer at her best. She's going to be well inside that, Bullingham. Looking closer to around about 18:40. Unofficially, of course. All results, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, will be live on the Sports Shoes website. And, of course, while you're at it, download the app. You'll get exclusive offers over the course of the year. And you will be up to date with the latest races and fixtures that we have to look forward to. We're here in Cardiff today. We'll be in Battersea in a couple of weeks' time. In September, we'll be Battersea again in November. And, of course, the New Year's celebration. Battersea 5K on the 31st of December. Joint with Mizuno, that one, it's going to be a party. So plenty more 5K action to come from this channel. Plenty more PBs to be run over the next few months as well. Next race, ladies and gentlemen, off at 5:30. Every race being run in half-an-hour increments. And then we'll have race 2 at 5:30, race 3 at 6 o'clock, and then those two elite races starting with the women at 6:30 before bouncing to the elite men at 7 o'clock. So I'll be back with you shortly. For now, grab a cuppa, settle in. We have 4 more races to come.
We are 11.
What you know about going out, head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up. Bonjour. The truck, piece all glittered up. Stick a kid, nigga, what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up. Hose ride, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, got a fan room. I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the wall, hitting on the balls? Lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure out what and why when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah De Witt, professional triathlete, and I'm a Sports Shoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive. Movimiento. I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light, and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing. Movimiento. And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.
6 minutes or so away from the race number 2. So that means if you are on race number 2, you're going to start making your way towards our start entry.
Yeah, mate, that was really good. I mean, the quality looks amazing.
Was it okay?
Yeah, on here it's a bit blurry, but I had this in the backup. This is delayed.
Was this bit okay?
The stream on YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Look how you do it. It's been like that for the whole thing. Like that for the race.
Yeah, I saw this like drop down this. I don't think it's just to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think it might be, but on here, it looks really good. Yeah. Hey, will you know when I start talking again? He's muted me. I'll start talking 2 minutes before the break. I'm not sure where he is. Good on the train. Yeah, I've just commentated. I don't know where he's gone. They might be there.
So another team of SportsShoes most links just put on a little air display up to see helicopters overhead. Thank you to the team for organising that. And it's great to see coming in fast. Where to the next one? Just attention to the turn towards race number 2.
Every half hour there's a race.
60 minutes how close to. Let's see how close we can get to that barrier. He's from up and down the country taking part. See there.
Yeah, I'll start for this race.
In there, fantastic positive rollers in there wearing distinctive black and white singlet. Switch to the west out of the course. Seems to be a lot more neutral tonight. And we've seen many more athletes from the club over there in South Wales on the South Wales coast on the freeway. Race number 2 and race number 3. About 5 series. Next up, race number 2. 4 minutes away from getting the exit on the tour.
No worries, man. Oh, there you go. Nice and dry in here, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. A little bit of speeding up.
Ready, mate? I'll hop on, it's going to be a bit wobble. Right, set. Try not to.
We have that elite women's race off at 6:30, elite men's off at 7 o'clock. Team prizes up for grabs in the unique way of total time out here around Butte Park. But for this one, no team focus, just all on the individuals. Alex John won race 1 in a big lifetime best. 19-second lifetime best wearing that Swansea Harrier vest. Will we see another Swansea Harrier take this one? Or will we welcome a new winner from a different club in race 2? Couple lads wearing those Neath colours. You can see that black vest. They'll be up for it today. Those Neath Harriers, Swansea Harrier on the outside as well. Oshan Davies is one to watch, 16.15. He wears 3.51 from Neath. He's the fastest in the field. However, there are 4 men who share the time of 16.15 and a couple of others just outside it. Almost the whole field is inside 17 minutes. It is a very deep field here. And this is what the Sports Shoes 5K Home Nations offers time and time again. When people see the headline of Sports Shoes, they know a PB is on the cards. So away we go then, race 2 of 5 here in Butte Park, Cardiff. The rain is dried up and the wind is virtually stopped as well. Still conditions for these gentlemen at the moment as they get underway. A few women in this one as well, we mentioned them. Piers Duvall of the Westby Harriers is the man taking the early lead, wearing 3.53. Yeah, and I mentioned before, there is a slight uphill at the start, but you do get it back in a much more gradual, nicer way, I think, over on the far side. It drops away quite aggressively. But overall, it is an extremely flat course, and the turns are minimal here in Cardiff. They really are, and this is why people come here time and time again to go and run their lifetime best, to get a PB, and we've seen a few already. Here we are already. You can see Oshan Davies, the Neath Harrier, to the right of picture, just looking to make his way up a little bit. Andrew Ho as well. Pontypridd Roden. He's another man who's a 16.15 performer. And I think this is going to be a much closer affair than race 1. That might be obvious considering the depth that we have in the field. Like I said, almost 50 men, sub 17, and just a few outside. 17.30 was the cutoff, but almost the whole field have bettered that mark. So still, Piers Duvall, who leads quite comfortably at the moment. In behind him, Andrew Ho, and just looking to close that gap, and he will bridge the gap between him and Duvall for the rest of the field as well. You can see already they are single file. It is a fast start. Keep an eye. We know where that first kilometre is. Comes on us pretty fast. Once they make their left-hand turn. And there we have it. Another Swansea Harrier in this one as well. Craig Jones wears 3.86. And Affan Humphreys as well, another man, 3.82. He's the Swansea vest I think we can see to the right of picture in behind Duvall. At the moment, everyone just happy to let Duvall set the early pace, sit in behind him. They're pretty much single file. They've got a clear run. You do have to keep your eye on the ground a little bit. There are a few puddles just lying on the course at the moment, but crucially, it's not slippy. It's all paved. It's very fast here. And this is the one section of the course, if you are just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, that is slightly downhill. They can open up their stride. And there's Craig Jones, 3.86 in there as well. 4.26 is another man that we will ID. Like I said, a lot of these men coming in with under 16.20 lifetime best. It's going to be awfully competitive at the sharp end of this field. And it is races like this where athletes tend to announce themselves. They have the breakout performance. They've been training all summer long. And perhaps some of them as well have a little bit more time through the summer to train. We know, obviously, it helps with longer daylight hours as well. For a lot of these men, they can get in the park, they can get in Butte Park and rip their sessions, get out there training. And obviously it shuts at nightfall. Those in Cardiff will know about that. So we now have a pack up at the front of this race. Nothing to separate the top 5 or 6 or so men at this stage. Ocean Davies is one of the favourites on paper. Comes into this in great form. Michael Hill's in there. Andrew Ho as well. The Pontypridd Rodents. Piers Duval still leads. 3.53. Looking very smooth. For the first time, though, just being challenged. You wouldn't call it a challenge at this stage in the race. In fact, more just coming alongside him, getting the measure on one another. Seeing how they corner. Seeing how they want to react to a slight lift in the pace. Checking in with their breathing as well. When you're behind someone, you can't hear the person in front breathe. However, they can hear your breathing, so Duval would have got some cues off of those in and around him. As now Davies just pulls up alongside him. And they'll run comfortably side by side. Until one of them decides to move, or will the attack come from a little further back? Afan Humphreys just a second slower than Davies when it comes to his lifetime best. And I think the beauty of a race like this, especially in these conditions, yes, we have a little bit of rain just coming across these men through the home straight on this opening lap. And let's keep an eye on the lap split. We know each lap is just over a mile here when they go under that finish line gantry. We're going to be about 5:15 or so for the mile split. It'll come just before that start line gantry. So Duval and Davies up front at this stage. Humphreys is in behind them in third, and now we have a couple races forming. As what was a lead pack, is there a slight gap? In fact, they're back on in behind. They truly are. As they close that gap, and once again it goes single file through what I class as the very, very slight uphill section of the course. It continues to weave. You have got to take the tangents well. And look at the depth a bit further back. This is what Sport Shoes Home Nations 5K racing is all about. 80 or so in each race. Sold out near enough instantly as well. This Home Nations event, it always does, into its 4th year now. And we have some quite eye-watering course records to contest later on this evening. 13:39 for the men, 15:29 for the women. More on those to come as we focus on race 2 of 5 here. In the famous Butte Park, in the heart of the capital, here in Cardiff. Millennium Stadium overshadows Butte Park. And once they make this U-turn up at the top, they'll run directly towards the stadium and alongside the River Taff. And they'll have a slight downhill once again to open up their legs before embarking on the third and final lap. And you can see, despite there is a little bit of breeze in the air, but it is an awfully sheltered loop. And it's what makes it so fast and so special, because even a crosswind, you don't really feel in the park. It is very, very sheltered. There's a lot of tree cover out there as well. As these men will know, they would have warmed up on this loop. They would have familiarized themselves with the turns. And that can be the difference when it comes to road 5K racing. At the moment, Davies, every turn is just running a little more than Duval. So it's still Duval who leads as they come down this slight downhill section. Another name that we haven't mentioned yet in this lead group, Dane Williams. 1624 performer. He's there to the right of picture. He wears bib number 430. You can see him in the green vest. Ocean Davies, a Neath athlete, now in behind. Tucking in, slipstreaming. Duval has been happy to lead this one out the whole way. And the rest of them have just run to his rhythm, really. They haven't challenged him. Davies has come alongside. And he's had to slot back. And for me, that's a sign of when you come alongside someone and then tuck back into the pack, you just perhaps were working a little hard and you just want to draft for a little bit longer. Davies has done that. As I say, that looks for a little bit of a clear run. Just finds a little bit of room on the inside. Williams now spearheading this field. And Humphreys, who's featured in this lead group all race long. So 4 men halfway through this Home Nations 5K, race 2 of 5. In this front pack now, and it looks like for the first time Williams is starting to put his foot down a little bit, testing them. And he might be giving us the illusion he's putting his foot down, but the chances are he's probably just maintaining. But to our surprise, Davies, the fastest on paper now, is just struggling as he's trying to latch on to these 3 men who look strong, don't they? They've clearly packed the miles in through the summer. They've enjoyed the extra daylight that the summer brings. They've got out after work, before work even. And you could tell they're preparing for a heavy season on the cross country. And of course, Cardiff Half Marathon is not a million miles away. Just 5 weeks to go until that, which will run around the outside of Butte Park pretty much. On the roads there, starts and finishes right in front of the Millennium Stadium. So Dane Williams now announces himself on this field, and this is a clear injection of pace. Humphreys is doing his very, very best to hold on. You have to, really. You can't lose contact, especially this late into a 5K. You can't expect these men to blow up, not when they're running so aggressively. We're just over a lap to run. Piers Duvall has looked very, very good all race long. He's led early on. He's always been there. And when he isn't leading, he's responding to moves being made, and he's doing it quite comfortably. Is he the man we should look out for? He clearly came into this race with a lot of confidence, despite his 16:28 lifetime best. He has not feared a field which is full of men who have run under 16:20. Humphreys, Williams, and Duvall as they come through with a lap to run. Keep an eye on the clock. We're operating around about 520 mile pace, and if they can do that, they're going to be just inside 16 minutes, which would be huge if they can run this last lap under 5:30, 5:25. Well, that's where they started. There's not quite 3 laps here in Butte Park. Duvall, Williams in second, and Humphreys in third there. Now gaps just starting to open up, and I tell you what, he's one smooth mover, isn't he, Duvall? His cadence has not changed all race long. There's no movement in the upper body. That's often a telling sign of someone who's well within themselves. Either that or they're just exceptionally strong. As you can see a little bit further down the race, you'll see a lot more movement in the upper body, in the head. As people just tend to expend a little more energy when they're running economy not quite as high. But as I mentioned on lap 1, the depth of this field is incredible, and the races are only going to get deeper throughout the afternoon into the evening. We'll call it the evening now. We're almost 6 o'clock. So less than a lap to run up the front of the field as we enjoy a few others just going through the bell lap. Piers Duvall stealing a march on Humphreys and Williams in behind him. Williams sits in second. Humphreys is on his shoulder. And you know what? Humphreys at this stage looks like he might just be focused on second place. He'll let Williams worry about the win. He'll let Williams worry about staying in contact with Duvall, who leads. And he's just got to stay on the heels of Williams at this stage. Because if he can, you never know. You get to that finishing straight in contact. You come off that final left-hand turn. You've got about 400 meters to run with a few twists and turns to negotiate. Nothing crazy. But if you take them better than the man in front, you can close up a sort of 5-second lead without too many problems. We've seen bigger leads lost here at Cardiff over the last few years, that's for sure. So, Piers Duvall still leading the Westbury area. Bit of a key club over in the southwest. Representing them, but wearing an all-blue vest on this occasion. It's not the Westbury vest. In behind him, Dane Williams. Alphon Humphreys as well, just on the shoulder of Williams. He's in third. And are we seeing a Neath vest start to announce himself once again? It's not Oshan Davies. He's slipped back further into this race. He was aggressive at the start, the youngster, 16-15 performer, and he's just not able to hold that sort of rhythm here today, but we are looking at a sub-16 minute clocking. Well, that's what we were on for with a lap to go. What can Duval do? This is a slight downhill section. You're going to get a lot of crowd on this side. You've got the Taft, the River Taft to their right, our left to picture. But of course, a lot of fans will just cut across the grass here and get back over to the home straight. That's how I refer of it. And we are well into that final kilometre. We've got about half a mile to run here. So Duval out front. Still Williams and Humphreys doing battle. Those two are inseparable, and they're going to need to work together if they're going to hold off a late charge from Neath Harrier. Could be Daniel Otterson, 16:30 performer. Is he having the race of his life? A breakout performance, perhaps? Continues to look very, very smooth, doesn't he, Duval? No one challenging him just yet. As we come into the business end of this 5K, we're approaching 15 minutes. We've got about, when they take that last turn, 400 meters to run. Is he going to break 16? He's going to be on for a massive lifetime best. There's no doubt about that. 16:28 performer coming into this race. What's he got? You can see him swinging wide. He's mastered that turn. He does it for the third and final time here in Butte Park. And it looks like Williams has stolen a march on Humphreys, and Neath Harrier in behind him. He could well get second. He's going to have to work for it, though. And now Duval goes to the arms. He looks smooth. I mentioned his cadence has not changed all race. The upper body hasn't moved. Well, now for the first time, we're seeing a grimace. The head just rocking a little bit. But he negotiates these turns, avoids a puddle, stays on his feet, importantly. And he's going to get a win here. If nothing drastic happens over this last 100 meters or so, into the two turns remaining. And he'll carve himself around them, and he's looking at the clock. He wants to break 16. Is he going to do it? Here's Duval, ladies and gentlemen. He will. He breaks the tape just inside 16, and that is a big, big performance from him. It's another lifetime best for Humphreys as well in second. Correct myself, Williams, I think, in second. Humphreys just coming across the line there. It was indeed, and perhaps it was Otterson of the Neath Harriers who also would have been inside a lifetime best. Looks like that was him in the black vest and the cap. Bristol and West Vest coming across. Andrew Grigg, that is, wearing 3.65. Oshan Davies fading back slightly, just 15 seconds of his best, though. He can't run a PB every week, and he gave it a good go out there. It was great to see. So we're 2 for 2 on the PB count when it comes to those race winners, and that gives you a little bit of context. Look at the back of Humphreys' vest there, the Swansea Harrier. Filthy. Gives you a little bit of a context just how wet it is. Fortunately, not very slippy out there. No one having any problems cornering. It drains well here in Butte Park. I mean, it has to. Anything located in the Welsh capital, you want to drain pretty well. But a fine venue here for the Home Nations 5K. It really is. Right at the end of summer. We were a week earlier last year. And perhaps if we were a week earlier. Here we are then. This is the results from race 1. Just a screen grab from the Sports Shoes website, ladies and gentlemen. So do head over to that for live results. Welsh Athletics as well has a live results link on there. Download the Sports Shoes app for exclusive offers throughout the year and keep up to date with those fixtures, of course. It was Alex John who took the win in race 1 rather comfortably. Another man who made it look all too easy was Piers Duval in that race there. Here we are. 15:58. He was rewarded with a lot of front running in that one. Dane Williams 16:05. Humphreys 16:11. Wow, tight on the line. Martin O'Grady it was. Apologies. Dan Otterson was a little further back. Harry Rose, Grigg, Oshan Davies 16:28. Justin under 17. A great running from him. And going tough as well. 16:36 for the youngster. So there's a snapshot of the race. And we will have one more open race, ladies and gentlemen. That will be off at 6 p.m. before the elite women's race at 6:30 and the elite men at 7 o'clock. So I'll be back with you shortly. It's Matt said, and I'm going to be on the mic on the live stream for Sports Shoes all evening long. So just over an hour or so of coverage left. And if you are just joining us, we welcome you. Settle in, grab a cup of tea. 3 more races to come, and they only get faster and more important from here.
We are 11.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up. Bonjour. The truck, piece all glittered up. Stick a kid, nigga, what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up. Hose rock, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the road, hitting the balls? Lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure I went wild when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah de Wit, professional triathlete, and I'm a Sports Shoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive.
Movimiento.
I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light, and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Movimiento.
And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.
We are 11.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up. Bonjour. The truck, piece all glittered up. Stick a kid, nigga, what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up. Hose rock, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the road, hitting the balls? Lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure I went wild when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah de Wit, professional triathlete, and I'm a Sports Shoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive.
Movimiento.
I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light, and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Movimiento.
And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.
Race number 2, race number 3 is going to be close to in and around the 15-minute mark, which is strong running, ladies and gentlemen. So we see, I'd say, a slightly broader array of clubs, the likes of Vesta, you can see there, Vista and Victor East Kent. Sorry, front Kent as well. It's a fantastic run. Right to command of Harris Park with Bark. We're seeing Western Tempo. I don't know how many Western Tempo there are here tonight. There seem to be hundreds as we see that from the orange vest and the national English badges. Geary Carter, that's in St. Parsons, back in the corner. So what a cut, that is great cut over the Thomas AC, that's in the rest there. Lining up in race number 3 with black rest of CDF riders as well out in force here tonight. It's a strong run here and a strong run in race number 3.
Yeah, my one, the one that Troy has, I'm just using Troy's one because mine I can unpower mine. I've just changed the shot. Mine. Troy's old library.
So starting together, anticipation, excitement starting to build for race number 3. To see the athletes doing their last minute strides, last few knee lifts, butt kicks. Here we go. Athletes just take their last minute strides ahead of race number 3 getting underway in just under 5 minutes time here. We promised the action would come in from 5 o'clock. We've been setting off those 5K races. Already, many personal best of the season gets already achieved right here tonight. More to come. So next up, to turn about athletes in race number 3.
I'm a lot closer now.
Yeah, I go this on the camera. Yes.
So we can see our start team all in position now. The officials just starting to get people together on the start line for the next race. Race number 3 of our 5-race program here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Race number 3 starting to gather in and around the start area. Athletes just starting to go, taking a little bit closer order. You see a strong contingent from Swansea Harriers in there. As well as Santa Monica and Rhodes, as well as a number of approved athletes.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just 4 or so minutes away from race 3. And this will conclude the open races here at Butte Park for the Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K event, sponsored by Nike this year. And we welcome the UK Road 5K Championships as well. Those 2 races coming up after this one. The elite women will go first at 6:30. The elite men to cap off the evening here in Butte Park at 7 o'clock. And we do welcome a few teams in those elite races as well. Composite teams, international teams, and clubs can score. And the way it'll be worked out is just through a cumulative time, total time, from 4 runners out there on the course. But this one, the open races, there is no team prizes to worry about, just your old school, traditional gun to tape racing. So a few men to introduce. Team Bath AC man, Thomas Brook, fastest in the field, 15:12. Can we see him on the start line? Not quite yet. Where's 2:44? Perhaps he'll show his face a little bit later on into this one. Joe Comfort as well, Rugby and North hands. This race, 15:10 was pretty much the cutoff. And we have a whole host of men inside 16 minutes. Almost the whole field have broken 16 minutes when you refer to their lifetime bests. So here we are, race 3 of 5, about to get underway. The only races that remain after this one will be those elite races. So the men just getting their final orders from the start judge. Down there here to left of picture. We must thank Mia there, representing Sports Shoes, for putting on this event, doing a fantastic job as well, organising it on behalf of Sports Shoes and Nike here in Butte Park. Everything running smoothly so far. So the red and green vest, that is Le Croups. Look out for those guys. They all know this park better than anyone out there. Ed Slaughter up at the front. We saw the Poor Cruel vest early on in that race too. It was just played out. He's got a 15:23 lifetime best as Ed Slaughter. So do we trust those on the front row are going to lead the way throughout the race, or are they going to slip and fade a little bit further back? Time will tell. But more often than not, you get yourself on the front row, you mean business, don't you? There's a Leeds vest. They've come down pretty far. We will welcome athletes from all over the UK, especially in those elite races. We have teams from Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales and England, all the home nations, plus many others. So, almost there, up and away here, race 3 of 5, the Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K, sponsored by Nike. And there is that Team Bath AC vest I mentioned, Chris Pickering, one of the fastest in the field. Can he break 15 minutes? He's tried to do it on numerous occasions. He's worked his way down to 15:12. And now the next logical barrier for him is going to be 15 minutes, like so many men in this race. Almost all of them inside 16 minutes. Joe Comerford is the man to the left of picture wearing that white vest. He's another 15-12 performer. Rugby in Northants is his club that he's representing. And I mentioned a few faces just appearing. Weren't on the front row to start. Brecon Price Davies, the Swansea Harrier, wearing the cap. He's going to be easy to ID. 15:27, his lifetime best. So, a lot of men who are capable with this early pace. As we are a minute into this race, they hit the first turn of the day. And it is a nice gradual sort of U-turn formation up at the top end of this course here in Butte Park. And then they will work themselves down alongside the River Taff, head towards the Millennium Stadium before taking a left turn just before they hit the road. And then that will see them on their way back through the start-finish line gantry. So the early leader is Brecon Price Davies, Joseph Comerford as well, and Chris Pickering. They're all in there. And there's a Cardiff Metropolitan vest in here as well. I mentioned that Cardiff half is fast approaching for a lot of these athletes. This is a little bit of a tune-up heading into their final 5 weeks there. A lot of those wearing or representing a Welsh vest or university will be taking part in the Cardiff Half Marathon. And Cardiff 10K as well just next week. It's a busy, busy month in the Welsh capital for racing. And also as this race unfolds, it's going to be a busy period as we head to New Year's Eve with 3 Sports Shoes events to come. One in September in a few weeks, one in November towards the end there in Battersea Park, and then the New Year's Eve special 5K will take place in Battersea Park right at the end of the year. Can you set a lifetime best with hours to spare for 2025? So the leader, Brecon Price Davies, looking good. There he is in their hat, just stretching things out. The Team Bath man in behind him, Chris Pickering in the blue. And on the leader's shoulder is Joe Comerford of Rugby in Northants. He wears bib number 250. So it's the 2 men wearing the white vest who lead. Price Davies in the half tights, Comerford in the split shorts. What's your preference? So the world through that first kilometre, the sign was actually just before this left-hand turn, and they were just outside 3 minutes. And all of these men, as I mentioned, I think will be targeting 15. Is this the opportunity for them to do it? A lot of them will be in the park training regularly.
So keep an eye out, ladies and gentlemen. Won't be too far.
And now, can they work together? If they are going to do it, I think they're going to need to stay together for as long as possible and everyone have a little turn up at the front, and Comerford now is just doing that as Bryce Davies looks to just fall back a little bit. Is he just starting to measure at effort? Often you'll find in a race they'll go through that opening kilometre, a few men will glance at the watch and go, oh, that's too quick, I need to back off. And perhaps Bryce Davies has done just that, and Comerford just looking to hold this rhythm, keep the pressure on. This second lap could pull himself and Morgan Watts, by the way, wearing that Cardiff Met University colours, in second place. Could pull the pair of them well clear of the rest of the field as they come through start-finish line gantry now. Rain just coming, sweeping across them. Next to no breeze here in Butte Park, ladies and gentlemen. And they will enjoy a little bit of shelter through this home stretch as they come under that finish line gantry. Now, look at the finish line gantry. It's very interesting because you come off that turn and you're in. You've got to wake up going into the final 400 meters of this race and decide when you start your kick, because you can't leave it until you see the finish line, because it will just come on you far too fast. These men will be aware of that. They would have done a course recce. Toby Smith sits in third wearing the light green colour. A triathlete, 15-15 performer. He looks smooth. He's going to be strong. One thing you know from a triathlete, they are always very, very strong. They would have packed in a lot of work through the summer, just like these two men who are looking exceptionally smooth. Well, as the rest of the field look to hunt down the barrier of 15:30, perhaps dip inside 16 for the first time. Almost everyone, by the way, had broken 16 coming into this, and that's a shame. Looks like Brecon Price Davies, just in our picture now, has pulled off. Yeah, 3:08, I can confirm that is him. So got near enough a mile done before his race was over. So I hope he's okay. Perhaps just not quite working. Did seem to fall back really, really quickly off of these men. And you would think a man of his experience wouldn't have overcooked it early on, would have known what he can handle. Training would have indicated a low 15-minute performance, I'm sure. Joseph Comerford still leads. And I mentioned before, Piers Duval in that previous race who took the win in race 2. There was no movement in the upper body. Looks very, very smooth. And Comerford is pretty much a mirror of Duval, who won race 2. As for the first time, he now looks to have questioned Morgan Watts, the Cardiff Met University student. Is that a gap just for me? Comerford still applying the pressure. He'll use this downhill. It does drop away a little bit on the far side here. And he'll use that to the best of his ability just to, again, ask the question of Watts, because the pack behind him, Smith is leading that chase group, and they're not going anywhere. They're starting to rally. It looks like they're starting to work together. And what was stretched out single file is starting to become one over on the far side, and you can see the tree cover these men will enjoy, and this will shelter them from the wind. We have got a slight crosswind here in Butte Park. You see Alex Donald out on the course, one of the organisers to thank here for the Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K, and of course the UK Road 5K Championships. There is no Road Running Championships this year. It was due to be out in San Diego. That got axed. So we look ahead to the World Road Running Championships next year in Copenhagen in 2026. Comerford looking very, very good, and perhaps next year he'll feature in that elite race. He's running like he deserves to be in there, and at the moment, and Watts is just not going away. Perhaps he's through the hardest part of this race, through that middle section where you just have to stay in contact. Keep on the shoulder. Now he's going to let Comerford do all the work going into the business end of this 5K. And if he can be there in another kilometre's time, he might just grow in confidence, Watts, and be able to muster something for the finish. Because every couple of 100 meters that go by and Comerford hasn't shifted him, doubts will start to creep in. Has he overcooked it? Will he look for a little bit of help in that last lap? But he's out there and he's running aggressively. And I'm sure he's inching himself towards a lifetime best at this stage. It's going to be tough to beat in a front-running effort like this. Now there's a slight uphill here before they take that left-hand turn. They've got to watch their footing. You can see a little bit of lying mud down there. And then they'll come back down into this weaving home stretch at Butte Park, and they'll approach the crowd. Things hotting up here as everyone looking ahead to those UK championships to be decided over 5 kilometers on the road. Joseph Comerford running like an old-fashioned distance runner, doing nothing fancy, just sticking at his task, not letting up. Almost bluffing the man in behind, has to just gap him. Watts is in second, and it looks like Watts has got a bit of support on this home stretch. He's woken up a little bit, he's tried to reel in Comerford once again. They go through 9:47 with a lap to go. While they're running about 5-minute mile tempo, if they can do another one to finish, they're going to be inside 15 minutes here, and it'll be a massive lifetime best for the pair of them. And so far, we're 2 for 2 when it comes to lifetime bests for the winner here at the Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K. Comerford still hardly faltering as Watts is in second in behind him and is just doing all he can, isn't he, just to hold that gap. Toby Smith still in third as that leads AC Vest a bit further back. And there's a Team Bath. I mentioned Chris Pickering was a man to watch, struggling on this occasion. Can't live with this pace. Not to say he's not on for a lifetime best. He could well be, because I think up at the front we're going to see a sub 15-minute performance. And these men back here perhaps just starting to pay the price for a very, very swift opening kilometre or so. So there's some good battles. You really want to be gaining momentum at this stage in a 5K race. If you can start to work through a few of these men, that final lap is going to be a breeze. Easier said than done, of course. So a few warming up, familiarizing themselves with the 3-lap course. Here in Butte Park, they're going through, they'll hear the sound of the bell. Port Cruel, Ponte Rodents, and not much has changed up at the front then. They're just further along into their final lap. Comerford leads, Watts in second. Those two now have a clear gap to Toby Smith, who sits in third. He's now coming under a little bit of pressure. Can't quite make out who's, I think it's Pickering, who's a little further back, and also a Leeds City Vest. Looks like it could be Tadar Keating, a 15:23 performer. He seems to just be working his way through. So there's the battle for the minor places. These two are unchallenged at this stage. Comerford just checking his watch. And that will be a comfort thing. I want to know just how far he's got to go. I believe that is around about the 4K marker where that marshal was standing in the yellow vest. That white sign to his right is the 4-kilometer marker. So they were there or thereabouts 12 minutes. He knows what he's got to do. He would have been operating at 3-minute Ks throughout the whole summer, heading for that magical barrier. It really puts you into the category of a top flight club runner when you can break 15 minutes. And it certainly will justify all that hard work done this summer. But the race ain't over, and he's got to hunt for the win here now, Comerford. I wonder if he's just going to gather himself. Watts, coming from Cardiff Met, would have done many, many tempos round Butte Park. The crowd acknowledging what they're watching. The pair of them will have good support out there. Watts now glancing at his watch. He just needs to focus on the back of Comerford. And can he just make a little closer contact going into these final 2 left-hand turns? If he can, it's going to be a race to the end. It's going to be a battle for the ages as well. Toby Smith in third. He's doing a fine job, the triathlete. I mentioned before, there in the light green vest. Triathletes are always going to be very, very strong. I mean, just the sheer amount of volume that they get in on a week-to-week basis, the hours they are out there training, expected to hold his pace. Can he lift his pace? Well, that's going to be another question.
It'll be a better shot than last time.
So Comerford and Watts now, nothing to separate them. Watts has now made contact. I believe that's just a meter between them. This is going to be interesting, folks. You've got one more left-hand turn before a few sweeping turns into the finish. Who's going to take the best tangent? Who's going to take the best line? Slide uphill. Watts has been rocking and rolling all race. He's been under pressure all race, but for some reason, he's managed to fight through it and mentally stay strong and hang on to Comerford. And he won't like this, Watts. He just about made contact, and Comerford said, okay, I've got another gear. Can you go with me on this occasion? And he lifts it again, does Comerford. And now is that a deciding gap? The Rugby in Northampton man, Joseph Comerford, ahead of Watts, who just now glances over his shoulder. And that usually is a sign the race is done. He's given up on the win here. He's going to let Comerford run away with this one, and he's going to have to stay strong, Watts, because he's on for a sub 15 if he can hold it. Comerford knows how close he is to that magical barrier as well. 14.48, they come around the final turn. He's going to smash 15. So's Watts. And Watts definitely owes Comerford a beer out here, because it was a fine pacing job for him to win in that fashion from gun to tape. Joseph Comerford, congratulations. Smith holds on to third like I thought he might. What a fine run from him. And Tadar Keating was fourth there, the lead city man. He's also run a big lifetime best. All of these men actually smashing their best performances so far in their career. How many can we get under 15:30? We're going to get a few. Whipping around that final corner. Keep an eye on the clock. Look out for your training partners, teammates. A couple of others just missing that 15:30 barrier, but we expect to have almost the whole race through in 16. So Joe Comerford, your winner of race 3. The third and final open races of the night. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we will turn our attention to the 2 elite races. Elite women to go first. And we welcome not only is it the SportsShoes Home Nations 5K, but it is also the UK 5K Road Championships. And for the first time, we welcome it here to Butte Park in Cardiff. The last couple of years, it's been based on the eve of the Great North Run up in Gateshead, where it's played out. Mark Scott, defending champion, will run the Great North Run next week. He won't be here, but Scott Beattie, former UK 5K road champion, will be here today on the men's side. So 6:30, those elite women will be off. I'll join you back here in around about 10 minutes. For now, enjoy the climax of race 3 in the open category.
We are 11.
Yeah, what you know about going out, head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest, try and live it up. Bonjour. Your truck, piece all glittered up, stick a kid, nigga what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up, hoes ride, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, got a sand room, I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the wall, hitting on the balls, lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code, they figure out what and why when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah de Wit, professional triathlete, and I'm a SportsShoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive.
Movimiento.
I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light, and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Movimiento.
And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.
We are 11.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up. Bonjour. The truck, piece all glittered up. Stick a kid, nigga, what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up. Hoes ride, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, got a fan room. I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the wall, hitting the balls? Lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure I wasn't wild when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah de Wit, professional triathlete, and I'm a SportsShoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive.
Movimiento.
I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Movimiento.
And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.
Start to make their way towards the start of race number 4. Within 10 minutes, so the team athletes to describe the last minute preparation to run the race. Nicky Davies, Alex Perry, featured one of our favorites, Holly Dixon, Sarah DeFord Jackson, Royal, representing England senior team, Lucy Jones going in there, Poppy representing Team England as well, all expecting to go well and try and challenge that course record set by Kevin Henry at 15:29. Let's see how close we can get to that, ladies and gentlemen. Here tonight, so conditions a little bit damp, but the athletes won't mind that. It's not slipping up the roads, it's good racing conditions. We've heard from athletes in the sport, of course, about how quick the course is. Nice and fast, nice and flat, great atmosphere being created by the crowds gathered on various sides, in and around Olympics, but also throughout the week here. Support for the events here in New Park. Some great atmosphere being created.
Yes, mate. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Hey?
I feel like he's like well, maybe it was top 8. Yeah, like it's quite hard when you get to that level. But Serenity who's got a lot of exposure, so yeah, but I think but if you get a situation like not Calvin, but the same. Like, yeah, but Serenity was a right. Yeah, no, but like destroys Serenity. So I mean, like, Serenity is probably the best. Or you would have said, I think Serenity is the best now, after today. But either way, yeah. Like, I don't think it was just our last bit.
So athletes starting together here for race number 4. Excitement and anticipation start to build in and around the start line. We've got a fantastic lineup of athletes, as you expect for this UK Championship. We've got teams from the home nations as well as representing SportsShoes. So we'll do a quick call forward with some of the athletes within those teams representing the home nations and our teams that have been put together. So anticipation is starting to build around 5 minutes or so away from getting the action underway for race number 4. You can see the singlets of our home nation athletes starting together in and around the start line. And there's going to be some explosive racing at the front end of this race, ladies and gentlemen. How close can we get to that course record? Just make sure it's a nice and safe out. Of course, we've got our event marshals, our lead bikes, of course, clearing the way for any of the public using the park here in Cardiff today. So just 3 or 4 minutes away from getting the action underway for race number 4. So there will be a call forward for athletes in race number 4. So if you do gather in your teams, and those teams that you'll be represented, Alex will do a call forward in the next few minutes. So rain start to come down, the next launch, and the athletes will be enjoying this. And we'll soon get race number 4 underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the SportsShoes Home Nations 5K here in Butte Park. And for the very first time, we welcome the British Road 5K Championships to the Welsh capital. This race run up in Gateshead over the last couple years on the eve of the Great North Run, which is, of course, next weekend. A few of these athletes doing that. And the same day as the Great North Run, interesting enough, is the London Big Half as well. So athletes from around the country splitting up that weekend to compete over 13.1 miles. But we will focus on the elite women. They're on the start line. We've got national teams, composite teams, and club teams out there. And last year's race won by Georgie Great with that course record that Callie Thackeray holds at 15:29. Is that under threat? Have we got the caliber to do that? Well, Alex Bell toes the line today, 15:36 this year. And this would cap off her transition to the roads in 2025. We know she hung up her track spikes last year and she's enjoyed it. She's had a couple wins in Liverpool and Battersea. And we welcome Team England there. Charlotte Dannett, another athlete to watch. Snuck inside 15:40 this year on the track. Has contested so many 5Ks and 10Ks this year and has been very, very consistent in them all. Amelia Quirk, by the way, is an athlete who doesn't line up. Emily Carroll with her first Scottish vest to the right at the left of picture, 198. Representing the blue of Scotland. There's Team England. Dead centre, Poppy Tank is an athlete to watch. It was only, 6 months ago she was here running the British University Cross Country Championships in the Birmingham colours. Silver medal on that occasion behind the phenomenal Jess Bailey. And there's Northern Ireland to the right of picture as well. Holly Dixon just squeezes her way to the front, you could see. In the bright yellow, Lucy Jones, another athlete to look out for. Hernhill representing them, also representing the pick and mix team. And these ladies have got a downpour to contend with on the start. My goodness. Well, there's a lot of tree cover here in Butte Park, but unfortunately not over the start gantry. And they are getting soaked out here in fine Welsh weather. Welcome to Wales, ladies. I'm sure this is how you all imagined the British 5K Road Championships would go. Graham Smith there, the cameraman, just about keeping those cameras dry and alive and functioning. He's got to hang on in there for the best part of just half an hour. The elite men off at 7 o'clock, but for now, what can these elite women do? There's a British title on the line. Oh, almost a false start, but away they go then. The SportsShoes Home Nations 5K off and away here in Butte Park, and on this occasion it's a doubleheader. We welcome the British Championships Road 5K as well. And just trying to spot Alex Bell, perhaps a cautious start for the former 800-meter runner. She was just to the left of picture, tucking in. And I almost feel like you'd rather be out front in these sorts of conditions with the rain just hammering down like it is, and there's puddles lying on the ground. You want to be able to see your footing. You want a clear run. You want to be able to avoid the puddles and just take the right tangents that are good for you. And follow a nice smooth line on a few of those turns as well. And so it's probably not a bad thing. Charlotte down at Leeds at the moment. Sarah DeFile Jackson, the Vale Royal athlete, representing England for the first time. She set her lifetime best, by the way, of 15:43 at the Cheshire 5K earlier on this year. And she's come here. Despite the rain, there's very, very little winds. And I was going to say, despite the rain, we have seen some massive PBs in those earlier races. All 3 races so far, the winner has run a staggering lifetime best part of 20 seconds or so, improving on their mark. And I wonder if we're going to see that again today. We certainly hope so, but these women do have a race to worry about as well. Of course, when there's a British title on the line, you are going to be a little cagier. Perhaps think about your tactics a little more. And with that rain on the start line, it's eased now, but that might have put a few off. So down it leads. Holly Dixon in the bright yellow to the right of picture. Lucy Jones just tucking in behind her, the Herne Hill athlete. And I mentioned Sarah DeFore Jackson on her first England call-up, leading as well, just giving Charlotte Dannett a bit of room before she just edges her way to the front. And there's a few others. Any you see in that quite awesome pink vest, that is the Nike outfit. That is the SportsShoes Nike team to look out for. Evie Locke is one of their lead runners. And they also have Annabelle Gummo out there, coached by Andy Hobdall. Libby Coleman is another athlete. Sophie Tooley running extremely well over the shorter distances this year. Maddie Jordan-Lee. So just a few to look out for, wearing those bright pink vests representing SportsShoes and Nike on this occasion. There's a few athletes I haven't mentioned. Mia Waldman, 15:49 performer. Third at the Bucks Cross Country Championships here in Cardiff this year. And represented GB on the country back in 2024. I'm sure she'll be looking to do the same again. So we are approaching that first kilometer. Keep an eye on the clock on the right-hand side of the picture. You'll see it. For us, it will just be a white square sign on the side of the path here. For them, they'll see a big 1 kilometer on the flip side. So we're going to be just outside 3:10, is it? There we are, just passing it now, 3:10 or so, which is inside 16 minutes. And great to see a large pack at this stage early on. They're going to have to help each other. I mean, that course record of 15:29, can they do it? I mean, Hager Thackeray went on to run a 2:21 marathon the year she ran that course record. So that would indicate the sort of shape you have to be in to get near it. Although these women have run just as well as Hager Thackeray did that year on the track this year. Holly Dixon, British finalist over 1,500 meters. Interesting athlete, Holly Dixon, as we look at her spearheading this race, taking the inside line in the bright yellow there. But started out in the sport predominantly over the country, half marathons, 10Ks, 5Ks, and now actually one of the few athletes who seems to just be getting faster and stepping down in distances. Almost the opposite to Alex Bell, who is also in this lead group, who is obviously now starting to step up and transition to the roads. And of course, a long-time coach, Andy Henderson, knows a thing or two about the marathon. And I wonder, will we see Bell contest a marathon in the not-so-distant future? Has run well over 10K and 5K this year. She wears bib number 148. You can see her there just to the left of that front pack. Well, someone who seems hungry today and to lead this and is happy to be up the front. Sarah DeFore-Jackson, the Vale Royal Athletics Club athlete, representing England for the first time. Had a great summer on the roads. And now looking to establish herself on a national level. 15:43, her lifetime best. Still leads. As we approach lap 1, ladies and gentlemen, we were just outside 3:10 for that first kilometre. What are we going to be for the mile split? There or thereabouts. I'll be guessing, but each lap is about just under a mile or so. There's Dixon just checking her shoulder. Jones now. Dixon running wide, looking to take this line. As I reckon that is about the mile marker as they approach the start line gantry. 5:15 to 5:20 for these women. Next split they'll have is 2K. For me, Bell looks very, very smooth at this early stage. Just almost see her staying out of trouble. Yes, she's in contact, but she wants a clear line, and she's got one. And she looks very, very comfortable just on the outside. Lucy Jones showing her face for the first time as we pan a little bit further back in this one. We'll see athletes representing Scotland. There's Emily Carroll going through. Mentioned it's her debut for that team. Athletes representing England as well. Northern Ireland are here in town. And of course, the host nation, Wales. Look at this. A few Welsh athletes in this chase pack behind. A few Croops vest as well. The local and internationals as they go through lap 1 of 3. And things just starting to spread out a little bit. You can see that Sports Shoes Nike team packing well in the pink, but Team England surely have got this one wrapped up if they can keep all their 3 athletes in this pack. Poppy Tank, Charlotte Dannett, and Sarah DeFore-Jackson. By the way, if you're wondering, the team title is awarded on total time, not your position, not like in cross country. I guess the more traditional way, but here at the Home Nations 5K in Butte Park, that team prize, winning team to take home £1,000 will be calculated on the total time out there. So that is why I say if Team England can continue to pack well, they are going to really boost their average down a little bit. Oh, Jones just slipping a little bit on that sharper turn. It's pretty much a U-turn up at the top here. It's the easier part of the course when it comes to turns. You've got 2 quite harsh left-hand turns as they head down towards the Millennium Stadium here in Butte Park. They'll have the River Taff on their right-hand side to our left of picture. So then 5, 6 women abreast at this stage. Mia Waldman, you can see representing Reading AC, just in behind Alex Bell. Sarah DeFore-Jackson, Holly Dixon, Lucy Jones, Poppy Tank, Charlotte Dannett. All of these athletes have had a great last 12 months. Many of them getting their international vest for the first time, making national finals, and cementing themselves as top domestic athletes. And Bell enjoying her first season, committing to the roads. And looking at home, she's done nothing but win on the roads recently over the last couple months. And I wonder when she's going to make her move. Will she leave it as long as possible? Or is she here to try and improve on that mark of 15:36? I think she knows deep down she's capable of well inside 15:30 over 5K. But, like I said, she's prioritized winning so far in 2025. Jones inside Dixon then. Jones seems to be having a little bit of trouble picking her line in behind Holly Dixon. Under pressure, Sarah DeFore-Jackson, Charlotte Dannett just leaning in on Jones's inside when he approached the turn. Alex Bell still in here. Mia Waldman just drifting herself to the back as well. Holly Dixon just applying a little bit of pressure. We'll try and keep in touch with that 3 kilometre split. It will be over on the far side when they come back down on that home stretch. At least that's how I will refer to that section of the course. Those weaving turns as they approach that finish country. So, is the first of the tighter left-hand turns. And Dixon leads this group through. And is that Sarah DeFore-Jackson just dropping off this front group? Poppy Tank, Charlotte Dannett coming under a little bit of pressure as well. It's Bell, Dixon, Jones. They're your top 3 at the moment. And they'll approach the tightest corner of the day for the penultimate time. A slight uphill, and they'll be rewarded with a slight downhill coming off of this turn as well. They're going to have to quickly get back into their running. It's a good place to make a move on the final lap. And you can see as they tiptoe around that corner, trying to stay upright. Dixon now applying the pressure. I'll tell you what, like I said, Dixon has just gone from strength to strength on the track. Now operating down low 410 for 1500, making that British Championship final, finishing 8th this year over the 1500 in what was an absolutely stacked final, of course. Lucy Jones too has been obliterating her PBs. Showed strength through the winter with a 4th place at the National Cross Country Championships. But Alex Bell, you can't count out a 157 performer over 800 meters, an Olympian in that distance, and now stepping up. So in a lapse time, they'll be kicking for home. Will it look like this over the next mile or so? Will there still be 3 in it with 10 meters to run? But they have a mile to separate themselves out. Dixon, Bell, Jones, and just hanging in there, Poppy Tank. Danit is a little bit further back. But those two have got a job to do, representing Team England here if they want to take home that team prize. All of these 3, by the way. Jones is representing the pick and mix squad. Holly Dixon also representing the pick and mix squad. So these 2 ahead of Team England. They're going to have to see. They did have Amelia Quirk, who was set to represent the pick and mix squad as well. She's a team made up of friends. However, she had to pull out, withdraw late with a stomach bug. A few more out there. Jordan Lee just coming through, hanging in there. Rhiannon Patton for Wales now just coming through with a lap to run. Had a terrific season on the track this year. PB after PB. Can she get another one here on the roads to cap off her 2025 campaign? A few more athletes continue to weave through. They would have heard the sound of the bell. Alex Donald, one of the race organisers, will be ringing that loudly for these women. And we will check back with the front of the race very, very shortly. Don't forget, Alex Bell leads. Has run 32 mids this year for 10 kilometres. Alex Bell, 15:30 high for 5 kilometres. There's Annabelle Gummo, by the way, representing that Sports Shoes Nike second team. She continues to drag a whole pack of ladies with her. So these 2 have separated. Lucy Jones, and you would have predicted this, really. Dixon's looked very, very strong this season. Bell, with her pedigree, you can never count her out as well, despite the strength of Jones as she takes that corner tightly. Dixon tiptoes through the puddle. Bell now pushing on. Now, there is a slight downhill on this section of the course. They'll use it, and Bell, with her leg speed, with that turnover that she possesses, and it wouldn't have gone anywhere. Despite stepping up to the roads, it'll still be in her. She just won't quite have that raw change of pace that you need to run the 800, but you could tell this is a track runner at her very best. And she puts, 5-10 meters on Dixon in second now. She'll use this downhill. And it's a beautiful tree cover. The rain has stopped. And the wind is next to none here in Butte Park. Third and final lap of the Home Nations 5K. Joint with the British 5,000 metre championships on the road here in Wales for the very first time. And there is no World Road Running Championships in 2025. There was set to be San Diego. That fell through. So Bell, just a rehearsal for next year. Perhaps she'll lie the World Road Running Championships in Copenhagen in 2026, ladies and gentlemen, and that'll be in September. And without a global championships on the track, of course, you've got the Europeans and Commonwealth Games. Perhaps that'll be a big focus for a lot of our 5K, 10K, and half marathon runners. I'm sure it will. But Bell doing nothing but focus over this last half a mile or so now. This is a massive lead she's pulled on Holly Dixon. From that top turn up at the far side of this course down towards this sharp left that Bell is approaching is around about a kilometre, and I feel like she has easily put 50 meters on Dixon at this stage. And watch the clock with sort of 14 mids approaching. I think we're going to be, it's around about just over 400 meters from here. We're going to be well inside 16 minutes. Are we going to threaten Callie Hager-Thackeray's course record of 15:29. I don't think we're going to get near that. Georgie Gregg won this event last year. And in 2025, I can confidently say it's going to be Alex Bell's day. Made the trip down from Leeds. She is going to be your British 5K road champion. And what a successful year. Transitioning to a new discipline. She hung up her spikes, but still loves this sport more than just about anyone you know out there, and she's proving it here. Stronger than ever than Alex Bell. This is a fine display. One last little downhill. As you can see, it just slightly rises into that turn and then drops away quite distinctively. And she will weave her way to the finish line. We'll keep an eye on Holly Dixon. We'll keep an eye on the clock as well. That course record won't be a million miles away for Bell. Couple more turns to go. Tiptoes her way through the puddles. Quick glance at the clock. Perhaps just wondering how much longer she has. 2 more turns and it's Alex Bell, your British champion. Over 5,000 metres on the road, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome her to Cardiff. She conquers the Welsh capital and she's your winner here at the Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K. 15:47. Outside her road lifetime best. However, a convincing victory for Bell in these conditions. It's pouring down, or at least it was on the start line. Dixon, perhaps just inside 16 minutes. Poppy Tank will take 3rd, and Lucy Jones finishes 4th, mirroring her performance at the National Cross Country Championships. Danik comes across the line. It's been a long season for her. Lucy Armitage with a massive run there for the Sports Shoes Nike team. Sarah Deval Jackson, one of the early leaders. Armitage recently ran 2 minutes for 800 to talk about stepping up. And she's out here competing over 5,000 meters on the road. I think she'll take that one. The World University Games semi-finalist for Great Britain. So keep an eye on the clock as the rest of them come across the line. Your elite women. And we'll also keep an eye on that team prize, of course. It is calculated by total time out here. Not positions, but total time. So even those a little further back have a lot to run for. And especially those up front as well. They can't settle for their place. They have to keep pushing. Just seeing a few more internationals, a few Welsh internationals come across the line. Rhiannon Patton just outside 17 minutes there on this occasion. As those elite men will be warming up, ladies and gentlemen. As we congratulate those elite women who have come across the line already. So Alex Bell was your victor. Destroyed it, really. And I think it shows, doesn't it? When you compare her to the likes of Dixon. Dixon's had an extremely long season on the track. And perhaps just running on fumes a little bit over 5,000. Needs to go away, work on that engine. And I think Bell, someone who's prioritized focusing on the roads this year, operating over 10K, 5K, just had way more strength out there. And at the end of the day, strength is speed, especially in this setting over 5K on the road. So Bell, it was Dixon who got 2nd. Ignore that graphic. Tank in 3rd. Jones, Danet, Coleman, Armitage, Paisley Morris, Izzy Holt out of the way. Your national champion this year over the cross country in the junior category. Before Jackson, Olivia Sim, and the rest of them you can see. Mia Waldman just fading a little bit further back. And perhaps just started her winter training, so just laying down a base marker. And I think where this is in the season, a lot of athletes come into this race today in very, very different places in their season. Some have had their off season and now they're starting back, and this is just a nice way, a fun way to break up their early winter training. Others running on absolute fumes at the end of the track season. And for the special ones, for the lucky ones like Alex Bell, perhaps preparing for bigger races to come in the autumn, and actually you're catching them in their prime. So we're 12 minutes away from the final race of the day. It's going to be those elite men. Course record, Tom Mortimer, 13:39, 2 years ago. Is that under threat? As we enjoy the images of race winner Alex Bell, we'll be back in a short while to crown off a fantastic evening here in Butte Park and decide the British champion over 5K on the roads for the men.
We are 11.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up. Bonjour. The truck, piece all glittered up. Stick a kid, nigga, what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up. Hose ride, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, got a fan room. I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the wall, handing on the balls? Lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure out what and why when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah de Wit, professional triathlete, and I'm a SportsShoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive.
Movimiento.
I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Movimiento.
And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.
We are 11.
Yeah, what you know about going out? Head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest. Try and live it up. Bonjour. The truck, piece all glittered up. Stick a kid, nigga, what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up. Hose ride, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, got a fan room. I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the wall, handing on the balls? Lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code. They figure out what and why when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah de Wit, professional triathlete, and I'm a SportsShoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive.
Movimiento.
I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Movimiento.
And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.
So what we did around 5 minutes, or actually just over 5 minutes, so you can see the athletes. Now let men's field just making their final preparations. Who is going to top the podium in this British Championships for 2021? Of course, that is what you saw in the team element to this whole world. Representatives, of course, SportsShoes team as well, can put together. challenge here on home soil. It's active areas as well. SportsShoes Nike teams. Scotland TV led by Jake in the race number 5. As I mentioned earlier, 26 of the field underneath the magical 40. So yeah, good to be working together on this first lap. We'll see how close they can get to that Welsh. All comes with this setback. So yeah, a few minutes away, I'd say 5 minutes now away from the start of the race. Number 5 in our 5 race series. Here in the home countries, international 14 of our sport shoes and the team of
are about to get underway. It is the final race of the evening. Alex Bell was your British Road 5K champion in that previous race. If you missed it, do go back and watch it after this one. I'm Matt Seddon. I'm going to be on air throughout this race like I have been all afternoon into the evening here. And this is the 5th and final race of the night. Well, to give you a bit of background to this, we're in the 4th edition of the Home Nations 5K, and we welcome it back again to Butte Park. The 2025 event, sponsored by Nike, will incorporate that UK 5K Championships for the very first time, which was held in Gateshead on the previous couple of occasions, actually, on the eve of the Great North Run. That's where it always used to be held, but now down in Cardiff. And what a fitting course. It's a stunning 3 laps. It's perfectly flat for these men. There is some very, very subtle ups and downs, which they can use wisely if they're smart enough at different points in the race. But not only is there an individual title to worry about here this evening, we also have team prizes up for grabs. There are national teams from England, Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland. There are composite teams as well, which are mostly just friends from around the UK making up those teams. They won't necessarily be wearing the same strip, but then there will also be club teams. And of course, there is the white vest of that Sports Shoes Nike team. Nike, the headline sponsor. 26 men have broken 14 minutes in this field as they line up. Of course, many of them setting their lifetime best up at the Sports Shoes 5K Festival in March. And that, may I remind you, was a very, very wet affair as well. There's Jack Rothin in that pink singlet, just handing his cap off to the side. He prepares for the Great Half, Big Half next weekend. Forgive me the confusion. Great North Run and the London Big Half on the same day next weekend. And Jack will be taking part in the London Big Half, whereas Mark Scott, the defending champion of the British Road 5K, will be taking part in the Great North Run, amongst a very, very strong elite field. Jack Rowe will represent the Birch Hill Track Club today. Now that is a team named after where these guys meet for a Sunday long run. Just on the outskirts of Swinley Forest, they'll park up and regularly get anywhere to 15 to 20 miles banked in a beautiful off-road forest just outside of Bracknell. Adam Clark, also a part of that team. Zach Seddon, the local to that team as well. Phenomenal. 8:15 steeplechase just a couple weeks ago now. Missed out, of course, on the World Championships just due to the sheer depth globally in the 3,000 meter steeplechase. Scott Beattie, can he challenge those guys that I've just mentioned? This man, 13:04 back in February, had a strong track season, perhaps his harshest critic through the summer. But regardless, didn't want to contest the British 5,000 meter track championship, so he's here searching for his first British title over the roads. In fact, I stand corrected. He won this event 2 years ago in his hometown up in the northeast. There's Team England, Jack Kavanagh, silver medalist behind Josh Kerr. Needs no introduction. Everyone has heard his story by now. And he actually comes into this race as one of the heavy favorites, I would say. Now then, that 13:39 course record of Tom Mortimer. Is it under threat? We've certainly got the caliber, but the fact that this is a national championship race, will it be a little cagey? Will it be a bit tactical out there? Time will tell. Hennigan. Far left of picture representing Wales in the red strip. Dan Nash as well. One of Wales' best marathon runners right now. Your men's Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K elite race about to get underway. British title up for grabs. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The Sports Shoes Home Nations 5K is off and away here in Butte Park. Adam Clark was dead center. Look out for him. Phenomenal strength. 2:16 marathoner now. Stepping up from the 1500 that he used to contest for many years. Through the mid-2010s. 3:38 performer. Back when that was a leading time in the UK. Of course, now it sees you pretty much in the 30s, if not the 40s on the rankings. Lots of Nike vests out there. I mentioned Kavanagh will represent England. Jacob Khan, look out for him. He will wear those Sports Shoes colours representing Nike. Dowie Griffiths, a man who knows this park better than anyone. Cardiff Half Marathon on the horizon. He'll be preparing for that. Oscar Bell also in here. He's a sub 14-minute performer. Like I said, 26 men have broken 14 minutes. Over 5,000 meters in this field, and I'm surprised not to see Jack Rowe yet. I think he may have come into this one and said, look, you know, I know he wants to just help out the virtual track club on this occasion. It's a bit of fun for him with a few mates ahead of that London Big Half next weekend, so perhaps he is just biding his time. Hiding in the pack for now, Scott Beattie, you can see in the bright orange, dead center. He too is looking for a little bit of redemption here today. And Dowie Griffiths continues to lead. Team Scotland packing well, actually. Surprised to see him up there this early. We'll get a kilometre mark shortly. And now here you are, Jack Rowe just announcing himself, swinging worldwide. And this is the place to move up, really. I mean, it's quite twisty early on that first straight. And then you have that sort of U-turn up at the top here. But now, when they run alongside the River Taff, to their right, our left, and on a slight downhill stretch, there is room to get out and move up, and Rowe's asserting his authority on this field already. And when Rowe's in shape, I mean, he thrives up at the front. May I remind you of the Telford 10K last year, where we ran 28 flat, pretty much gun to tape. Frank ran it, dominated, and he did the same at the London Big Half. Oh, we've got an early fall. Oh, and that's the Welshman, Dowie Griffiths, clipped from behind. Luckily, I think he fell onto the grass there. And so I think that might not be as bad as it first looked, but Jack Rowe was well out of it. Scott Beattie's now, he knows what he's got to do. He's got to sit on Rowe's shoulder for as long as possible. Kavanagh is someone who's good at that. He's like a leech, Kavanagh. You just can't get rid of him. And he sits in third, so some of the big hitters out there. And then we look, Adam Clark is just a touch further back as well. And I wonder if that fall affected anyone else a little further back. Didn't look like it, did it? But well through that first kilometre, ladies and gentlemen. And I make that about 2:45 for Rowe. Beattie in behind. This is the slight downhill. Kavanagh, Rowe, Clark. Oscar Bell's in there. Charlie Brisley, by the way, is the Sports Shoes representative in the white vest, just in behind. Is it Kavanagh at this stage on the shoulder? Jacob Allen. He's also a 13:40 odd performer over 5,000, and incredible half marathon runner, Jacob Allen. Still looking. Expect him to break 62 minutes in the not so distant future. So Rowe doing what he does best, and everyone else saying thank you very much. We'll fight for the minor places at this stage. We'll let you string it out. takes that turn well. And I can see Jacob Allen in there. Zach Seddon just a little further back. Had a bit of time off after that 8:15 steeplechase. So, again, coming into this more just to get his winter campaign started more than anything. Prepare for that cross-country season. Well, this is the battle. This is the battle some may have wanted on the track, to be honest. Rowe and Beatty. We didn't see them. You know, Rowe is in great form. Ran an outdoor lifetime best of 13:14 in Ordegem in Belgium just a couple of weeks ago, where Seddon ran his lifetime best for the 3,000 meter steeplechase as well. And it was a bit of a shame. But Kavnar took his opportunity. He got the silver on that occasion. Now, can he back it up? Can he put these boys away? Can he challenge these boys on the road? He was second in last year, Kavnar. He knows the course well. And they are just outside 4:30 for that opening mile. So Rowe, Beatty, and that's around about 14 flat pace for these men. You see Oscar Bell, Darryl Griffiths, who fell. There's Andrew Penny a little bit further back. Seddon's in that chase pack. Northern Ireland colours out there as well. They have got a strong team. Conor McLean, by the way, 13:42. He ran in Ordegem. And he's just off the back of this front pack. I say off the back. He's in contact, isn't he? Well, here we are. The rest of the men fighting for a lifetime best. Almost all of them, by the way, inside 15 minutes in this race. That Ben Davies moving through for Bedford there. Some big packs out there. And they're going to run fast, these guys, if they can work together for as long as possible. You just can't afford to lose contact in a race like this. And look at these scenes, and you can see this is the part of the course where it does weave. You've got to pick your line a little bit. Work your way around the puddles. But also it is slightly uphill. The back stretch of the course, slightly down. Rowe, wearing the cap, keeping the rain out of his eyes. Beatty in second. Kavnar, Jacob Calm, Brisley, Adam Clark. They're all in this pack. Conor McLean as well of Northern Ireland. Jacob Allen a little bit further back. So this is what Rowe does better than anyone for me. And, you know, especially you think about some of his best races. This is a big move now. Kavnar can't go with it. Beatty is going to. It's kind of do or die for Beatty. He needs to. He needs to be confident enough. He needs to back himself enough in these situations to challenge someone like Jack, who I tell you what is in very good form. Talk about that 5K lifetime best, and I think he's ready for a big one next weekend on the roads in London. Can he get the hat trick in the big half? Well, time will tell. Firstly, he's got about a mile and a half to run here in Butte Park in the Welsh capital. So continue to lead Beatty. Kavnar a little bit further back. McLean and these men, and like I said, Kavnar just missing out on the win last year. It was Vinnie Magnussen, wasn't it, with that 13:47 victory. That was a little cagey. It was a big last lap for those guys on that occasion. As we just lose these men then, they're over on the far side. We can expect them to come around in around about 9 minutes time. They'll be coming under this start line gantry. That would see them bang on 4:30s. That would see them just inside 14 minutes. That was the early tempo. But one thing Rowe does well is he just knows how to turn the screw. And it was a modest start. He didn't even show himself until the first sort of 600 meters passed, and then we saw him up at the front. He just eased his way up. So you can see the type of terrain, what makes this course so fast and so special. And it's just wide, open paths here. And it really is a lovely venue with the Millennium Stadium overlooking Butte Park. Easy access for all these athletes to get to. Of course, we'll welcome the Cardiff Cross Challenge on the 8th of November. Talk of British Championships. This is the Road 5K Champs. And that mile short course will be decided at the Cardiff Cross Country on the 8th of November as well, so a few weeks earlier than the Liverpool Cross Challenge. Cardiff Half in a few weeks, and there will be another Sports Shoes 5K in Battersea Park at the back end of November, and of course the big one, the New Year's Eve party in Battersea. And we'll look to see on that alternative Battersea course who can be crowned the winner on that occasion before the year is done. So the elite men will be on this home stretch any minute now. Jack Rowe will be working his way, weaving his way, shall I say, up this straight. And what's the gap on BT? Are we predicting he has a gap? Well, let's see. Well, we join them as they come through. Rowe and Beatty then. Well, they were your two favourites coming into this one. Rowe just letting Beatty come up alongside him. Perhaps just listen to his breathing, listen to his cadence. McLean there, Brisley's having a stormer, I'll tell you that. Kavanagh just struggling. It's been a long season for him. Adam Clark in here as well. Northern Ireland are posting a good team. Virtual Track Club, Zach Seddon moving up. There's Jacob Allen, Oscar Bell, Jacob Kahn as well. It's Dan Nash leading this chase group. Don James for Western Tempo. There's Jack Miller. He'll be looking forward to it. Another campaign on the mud. Not many operate quite as well as him over the country. There's a few others coming through with a lap to go. Then what are they? 9:45 on the clock. Well, certainly going to break 15. How close can they get to that 14:30 mark? Chilton Harriers, Simon Bossy coming through. Just inside 10. Can he break 15? He's moving up. Back to the leaders then. Rowe and Beatty. Rowe, he's just never scared to front run, is he? He's relentless, this man. Seen it from him time and time again. It started, just oozes confidence. Remember when he won the Liverpool Cross Country Championships back in, wow, was that 2022 even? Just testing my memory a little bit there, but dominated in that fashion. When he's hot, Rowe, and he knows how to dominate. But Beatty, perhaps the sharper of the two this year. We know Rowe tried to step up to the marathon. Didn't quite work out for him on attempt number 1. Rumours fluttering, we'll see him again before the year is out. Over the 26.2 mile distance. Of course, working under Alistair Cragg now. Trains alongside Paddy Diva when he's over in the States. But based in London. The pair of them live just a few miles apart. And now, nothing separates them as they fight their way to a British title here on the road.
Yeah,
BT, the former winner of this crown. And I think in BT's case now, can you just test Rowe? I mean, I think at this stage, Rowe is so strong and you can't count him out. You can't count his kick out. BT will rely on his track speed. However, they're evenly matched for me. They've both run 13:04 in the Magical Boston. And they're very, very evenly matched when it comes to their outdoor lifetime best as well, over 5,000 in the 13 teens. And, you know, BT had a bit of a wobble during the track season. I think just got a bit despondent. But I have heard he never really dropped the training too much, was in great shape all summer, and now he's hungry as ever to come back and focus on that winter campaign. European cross-country champs on the horizon, world cross-country champs on the horizon in 2025. Look at this then, this is the best of two of the fastest over 5,000 this year. Jack Rowe and Scott Beatty. Rowe really testing him now, he's got to do it. Like I said, he's got the strength on his side. He's got those long runs, those long, hard tempo efforts he would have relied on in preparation for the marathon, and which would have carried him through the summer over 5,000. Jack Rowe, a metre on Scott Beatty. Who's going to take the turns the best? Beatty with the slightly more bouncier stride, but Rowe just covers the ground so well. And is this a decisive move now? Is it a decisive gap as well? Jack Rowe for the Birch Hill Track Club has just got to go as well. He's got to get time in the bank for them. Adam Clark, Ben Bradley, Zach Seddon making up that team. There's a team title on the line, and this is impressive from Rowe. Takes that turn, tiptoes round the corner, hammers down the hill. And look at the gap he's put on Scott Beatty. The pair of them, 13:04 performers over 5,000. Beatty basically mirrored Jack Rowe's season of 2024, really. A 13:04 indoors, and then just struggled a little bit outdoors to replicate that form. But Rowe now full of confidence and experience, and he's got to be the heavy favourite. Not just to win this one, but to win the big half next weekend as well and get the hat-trick of victories in London, his hometown. Look at this here, Jack Rowe, your British 5K champion on the roads, and he's going to break Mortimer's course record, 13:31. Boy, oh boy, was that impressive. BT will come across the line next
Where is he? How far behind was he? Well, he's through. He's well under 13:40. These two in a class of their own, quite frankly, on the roads. And on the track as well, for that much. Well, here comes the Northern Irish athlete. He's had a clean across the line. He's had a great summer. And that'll do quite nicely. Brisley, Jacob Carnes, Seddon. These guys are going to be just outside 14. Oscar Bell, Penny. First Scottish athlete across. It's a big performance from them. Darren Griffiths to that early four. Jacob Allen, Hennigan. And now they're all going to come across. I'll try and do the maths to keep an eye on that team title. Could well be Birchhill Track Club for the win. Matt Merrick. Adam Clark a little further back. Just fading. He is in preparation for the half marathon. Mark Ruby in the pool colours. Wearing bib number 118. Shout out to Mark Ruby, ex-university student. Right, here come the pack in. How many under 15? Hammering around that final turn. Oh, great racing. Simon Bossi just inside. 15 minutes for him in these conditions. Another man who's really working on his strength this year. Look at what the 5K can do to you. One of the few events that brings men to their knees. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the action here pretty much. As we see the rest of these men wind up round that last turn to complete 5 kilometers, 3 laps of Butte Park. And it's been an absolute pleasure as we welcome them home. There's your winner, Jack Rowe, dominating. And Framp ran it as well. He's just unfazed. I've never seen, such a confident, strong competitor. Someone who's just so happy front running. And I think it's another reason why he has a big career on the roads. And everyone knows when it comes to road racing, you do spend a lot of time on your own in marathons. And you have to be mentally very, very strong in order to hold your form, gauge your effort, gauge your speed as well, and put away those guys around you. Either work back to guys or drop guys. And Rowe can do that. And it's a different skill on the roads than it is on the track. And he'll look forward to the next few years in preparation for LA. But first, he needs to complete a marathon. And it starts with the big half next weekend. So there's your British 5K champion, Jack Rowe, making history here as he breaks the course record as well. Mortimer's 13:39 slashed to 13:30. And unfortunately, we've got a silhouette of Rowe, a camera crew just in front of him. But I hope you enjoyed that, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your commentator throughout the evening, Matt Seddon on air. And it's a fine job from all involved here at Sports Shoes and Nike, the headline sponsor, and of course British Athletics, putting on the Road 5K Championships. There was no World Road Running Championships this year in 2025. San Diego were due to host it. That fell through. But next year, we can probably rely on that man to make the team. The World Road Running Championships will be back for 2026 and take place in Copenhagen, where there'll be a 5K, a road mile, a 5K, a 10K, and of course, a half marathon. So nothing left to say from me, but we'll see you back next year. And for now, it's good night.
the Nike Sport Shoes team in the elite men's field. If you want to make your way to the finish podium, so anyone in the elite men's Nike Sport Shoes team wearing the white singlets, if you want to head towards the finish gantry, we'll just get a little team shot of you all together. So if you're wearing the white Nike Sport Shoes vest, head towards the finish gantry for your team photo. Presentations in the event village at 7:30. So
Presentations at the event village at 7:30.
in around 6 or 7 minutes time, we'll get those results and we'll get our presentations underway in around 6 or 7 minutes time. So if you're in our elite men's elite women's field, if you want to make your way down to the event village, we'll get those presentations underway. So don't jump off and do a big long cool down there. You've got plenty of time to do that. The weather's improving. We'll get those presentations done, and then you can get on your get those extra miles in here in the workshop. So presentations are due off at 7:30 in the event village for our.
It makes sense to do it under this. On my
Gary. I'm going to be like 3 feet at the back, right side. And after the David Lloyd
Golden hour.
golden shower.
Golden shower.
Golden shower. There's no communication. It's ridiculous.
happening all the way by the sea. So I'm international. I'll head down. Already yesterday.
exceptional, so thanks for hanging around. Thank you for coming in this week. The SportsShoes on Nations Fight very successful. Hugely grateful tonight, and obviously all our sponsors, supporters, staff, volunteers and officials. So we'll just get the sound quite right and then we'll start our presentations. We are all set. So hopefully you're all here, guys. We're going to start with our individual medalists. We're going to do the women first. So we will call our guys and we'll just hope they're here. So we're going to do both our race presentations and then we will do our UK Champs presentations. They are obviously the same medalists. So we're going to jump straight into it, and our presentations for our individual medalists and our team medalists will be made by Mia France from SportsShoes, the event coordinator now at SportsShoes, and then we'll move on to our UK Champs presentations. So let's start with our third placer today, running the time of 16 minutes 4 seconds, running for the SportsShoes night team, Poppy Tank. Apologies, so that was my fault, yeah. So she was running for England, as you can see by her singlet. Our silver medalist, a time of 15:56, running for the pick and mix team, Holly Dixon. And our winner here, step up to the top row of the podium, a time of 15 minutes 46 for Olympian Alex Bell. So a huge congratulations to our top 3 athletes. They're going to stay on the podium for us. Just a couple more pictures. We will now welcome the Development Director for UK Athletics, who will make our presentations for our UK 5 km Championships, Mr. Chris Moss. So stay there, girls. If you stay on the podium for us. So once again, third place, our bronze medalist, in a time of 16:04, Poppy Tank. Taking the silver medal in the UK Championships, 15:56 for Holly Dixon. And our gold medalist and new UK 5 km champion, Alex Bell. And again here winning time, 15 minutes 46 seconds. Stay with our ladies. Next we will do our team presentations. So let's pressure test our podium by bringing up our bronze medalists, and they are Night Team 1. So if you were in the SportsShoes Night Team 1 on the women's side, come on up and collect your prize, perhaps just one of you as the representative. So Olivia Sim is going to collect the cheque on behalf of the team. And I think Lizzie's here as well. Do you want to jump up on the podium for a picture? So second place here was our SportsShoes Night Team 2. So if you're in the SportsShoes Night Team 2, come on up. Jump up on the second part of the podium for us. And our winners were the England team, so come on up and collect your prize. So I think it's Poppy Tank going to collect the cheque for us. it's quite a tight fit, but if you can fit up there, I'll get some pictures. So huge congratulations to all the medalists in our women's race. We'll just take a few more pictures and then move aside and move on to our men's presentations. So we move to our men's presentations. Once again, we'll begin with the race in terms of our individual winners. So wait for the from Sports Shoes to be ready. You can slide around the girls, lads. So if you are here, our third place runner today in a time of 13 minutes 56 seconds was Tony McCambridge. In second place, former UK champion over 5 kilometres, a very respectable time inside our old course record, inside the old Welsh all-comers record, a time of 13 minutes 37 seconds for Scott Beattie. I wanted to say in a time of 13 minutes 31 seconds, so once again well inside our former UK all-comers record set at this course 2 years ago with 13:39, but his time today 13:31, well eclipsing that. It's Jack Rowe.
Stay there, but we still move. There you go, stay there.
Well, the gents, stay there for us. A few more photos. So again, let's welcome the UK Athletics Development Director, Mr. Chris Moss, to make our UK 5 kilometre Championships presentations. Our bronze medalist here, 13:56, Tony McCambridge. Taking the silver medal in 13:37 is Scott Beattie. Our winner, our new course record holder, our new Welsh all-comers record holder, and of course our UK 5 kilometre champion for 2025 with 13:31 is Jack Rowe. So again with the teams, I'm not going to call your names, I don't have them here very handily, so I'm just going to call the team. So listen out, so if you're a member of the team I call, please come up to the podium. So the second the lads are ready, and our photographers are all set. Cheers lads, all done, thank you very much. Don't go too far if you're members of scoring teams. So let's bring up our third place team today, Northern Ireland. Our second place team today in the men's race were the Sports Shoes Night Team 1. So anyone in that Sports Shoes Night team, come on up for us. And our winners today featured that new 5k champ. They were the Birch Hill Track Club. Come on up, lads.
Come on.
you what, you sit down below. Sit on the Oh, you will, yeah, don't get away now. Don't do that. But if you two poke your head through the middle.
I've got a 2-hour train ride home.
Yeah. Perfect.
So those final few photos now, and it brings the Sports Shoes Home Countries International and UK 5K Championships to a close. Huge congratulations to each and every one of our official finishers here at the 2025 edition. Remember, if you've been inspired by what you've seen tonight, do jump onto the Sports Shoes website, find out how you can get involved in all of the future events. It's been a fantastic night of racing here in Cardiff. Spectacular victories for Alex Bell. And our elite men topping the podium there was absolutely fantastic. A new all-comers record as well to boot. So the action came thick and fast. It's been an afternoon of amazing 5K runnings. We wish you all the very best. Do make sure you pay a visit to all of our vendors. Do thank each and every one of our official volunteers and staff for their support. So huge congratulations to everyone involved in the delivery of the event. Of course, we've seen that as home country championships, battle between England, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales, as well as our British championships, our top three on the podium, taking those British championship medals home. If it's your first time here in Cardiff, we do...
Yeah, what you know about going out, head west, red legs, TVs, all up in the headrest, try and live it up. Bonjour. The truck, piece all glittered up, stick a kid, nigga what? Jig with a cut, sip crisp, spit it up, hoes ride, get your nut till I can't get it up. I'm a big man, got a sand room, I done hit everything from Cancun to Grand Tune. Why you standing on the wall, hitting the balls, lighting up drugs, always fighting in the club. I'm the reason they made the dress code, to figure out what and why when I'm in my fresh clothes. You know you make me feel so good. Come on.
Hello, I'm Hannah de Wit, professional triathlete, and I'm a Sports Shoes Nike athlete in residence. I've been very lucky to get my hands on the new Vomero Plus. I was a huge fan of the Vomero 18, so I just knew I was gonna love these. They're super comfortable and cushioned, and they're even more responsive.
Movimiento.
I've created my favorite summer set with the matching Aeroswift shorts and the Aeroswift vest, and it just feels super light and it almost feels like I'm wearing nothing.
Movimiento.
And I complete the look with these wind-tracked sunglasses.